Hello and welcome to From the BON. This is the rapid reaction to Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3, 108 days since October 23rd. A 16-match winless run comes to an end in dramatic fashion at Selhurst Park. And look at it. We're scratching around trying to find who's available for rapid reactions, and here they all are suddenly. 3 points and everyone's keen again. That belief, you can feel it ebbing back through everyone's veins, or we'll see if that's the case. But let's start off. Andrew Greaves, Scott Parker has been going into press conferences every week and saying the belief's still there, the team still believe, they're determined, they're together, they all believe in each other, they believe in him. And it's felt a little bit hollow when you see what we've been seeing on the field. But tonight, that looked like a team who still believed.
Yeah, it felt hollow till about 40 minutes, didn't it, as well, really? We conceded kind of 2 poor goals and then started playing with intent, and the mood with the commentators over here changed. It started with, they were basically kind of, saying Brendan Johnson could come on and get his first Premier League goal, to all of a sudden it was like, hey, up, Burnley have got one back, is they're fighting the dog. And then it was kind of all talk about, Kyle Walker's won a Champions League. Next year we might play in the Championship, but this scoreline suggests that might not be the case and all this. And you were just like this wave of emotion, which was kind of slightly nonsensical. But yeah, a real grit and determination. A mad 7.5 minutes, I think it was, kind of, from 40 minutes to into injury time. And then I thought a really, really solid kind of disciplined performance second half to see it out, which, I think Palace got close a couple of times, but I never really felt nervous. Like last year when we weren't nervous defending a lead because we thought, you know what, we're going to see this out. And it proved to be, and, you've got to be pleased for Scott Parker. It may be papering over the cracks, but it's given us a midweek to relish, hasn't it, with a juicy cup tie against lower league opposition to come on Saturday.
Yeah, and Woody at 2-0, you started thinking, is this going to be 4? Is this going to be 5? Is this going to be an absolute night of humiliation? And then that beautiful finish from Hannibal just changed the mood completely, didn't it?
Yeah, I was switching it off after 30 minutes. It was the first time this season that I'd genuinely given up watching. I'd genuinely had enough. Then the next thing you know, and I also thought that, I thought we'd shot his bolt with Fleming's miss as well. But yeah, it was a lovely finish from Hannibal, from a great performance. And then next thing you know, you're 3-2 up. And that second half performance, we were like half a yard quicker than them. We were winning up second balls, left, right, and centre. And it's a bit like playing Crystal Palace, isn't it? They don't like to be on the front foot. They got a bit of a nosebleed trying to have to chase a game. And I thought we were great second half. Wonderful exposition of hoofball.
Yeah, it was a bit more of a basic approach. Goals on the counter attack, and Jadon Anthony very effective down the left, did well for his goal as well. Bashir Humphries with the header that they couldn't clear off the line. Chris, that was a performance that had what you were looking for a team that's at the bottom end of the table.
Just like I say, you don't mind losing games. It's always been how you lose them. We just want to see that fight, that desire, and I have to say, the second goal's a good goal on reflection. Joe Worrell can't quite get there, but it's a super ball in, and it's a super header from Strand Larsen. But as you were suggesting earlier, you started to think, good grief, this is going to be an absolute calamity, for as Ryan Lowe would say. But it was just a 6-minute spell where we almost thought, you know what, we've nothing to lose here, and stepped up the pitch 10 yards or so, and attack with intent. We'd almost pieced together a couple of positive attacks previously, as Scott Minto was alluding. I thought Scott Minto was very good on the co-coms tonight, and as an aside. But I thought it was just a couple of times where the final pass wasn't quite there, or as you say, with Fleming's just he's leant back and leathered one over the top. A very, very passable opportunity. But we were clinical. I'm still in disbelief that we've scored from Bashir Humphrey scored from a dead ball to the far post sort of thing. It's like, we don't do that, do we? What's going on here? But it
Set
just
piece
goes to
coach
show.
deserved a chant, really, didn't he? Yeah.
Exactly. Little Marcus Edwards again. He's one of those. He come in for a bit of stick in some quarters because he's not been as effective maybe the last couple of games. But I'm one of those. I just leave him be. I don't care whether he's good, bad, or indifferent. If he has 1-2 moments a game, the better moments than anyone else in that squad can provide. Usually, he's a little genius, I think. And yeah, I mean, even he couple of opportunities to get that killer final ball, didn't quite get it right on occasion. But and then you look at Hannibal, and I'm sort of semi-joking, but you look at Hannibal tonight up against Adam Wharton, and Wharton's a fabulous player. Don't get me wrong, but Hannibal should be looking at today and saying, you know what, I've matched him tonight. And everyone expects Wharton to be going to have his pick: Liverpool, Real Madrid, Man United. Hannibal's he should take a great deal of credit from that tonight. He's a gifted technical individual. He's got a heart and desire, that will to win. It's just the other side of his game that lets him down. But he was magnificent tonight.
Maybe getting himself close to a red card when he was sat on the bench until he got a proper bollocking off Scott Parker and told to calm down, as we could see from the lip reading. But I mean, Daz, the other player who comes to mind after that performance is a player we've mentioned here on a few times and hasn't featured much. But Joe Worrell comes in, and we obviously can't say that we looked solid for the first half an hour, but that second half performance with an experienced centre half there, it did feel a bit more solid, didn't it?
It played right into his hands, really. I thought he was poor for the first 2 goals, to be fair. I know it's a great finish from Strand Larsen, but he stood in front of Worrell, and Worrell sees him and doesn't get there. But second half, I mean, he's a muck and nettles defender, and it was exactly what he wanted in the second half, wasn't it? Balls thrown into the box, kick it, head it, get it away. The old style of Burnley defending that we love. It was terrific, that second half, and I can't comment on the first half too much because I was that petulant 3-year-old that threw me toys out the pram and went upstairs at 2-0 to put my lad to bed. And I missed all 3 goals. And I've never done that in my life. I've missed all 3 goals tonight.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, I think, even though we're slightly embarrassed about that, Daz, we'll continue being good parents,
No,
I think.
I don't mind saying. I mean, listen, it was 2-0. I'd watched that first half and I'd had enough because it was just more of the same, wasn't it? And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to read my lad a bedtime book because it's going to be better than this. And all my lads kept shouting up was 2-1, 2 apiece, 3-2. And I was like, of all the nights.
Greavesy, I mean, Agent Dyche in Nottingham has seen his Forest side drop points, but not losing either and letting Wolves off the hook. That's a good result. It's 9 points now. That's 3 games. That's only 3 games, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's on, innit? I think that's the thing. It's back on. I mean, forget everything we've said for the last kind of, 16 weeks or whatever it is, 16 games. It's back on, innit? We're surviving. We're pushing for Europe. Pace will be on X posting about how proud he is in a second, and JJ Watt will be coming on. And
JJ Watt will be back now, won't he? Yeah.
He'll be on Benny and Ots in wherever he is, recovering from his Super Bowl hangover. But fucking hell, this is it. We're there. Premier League football next season. Forget the doomsayers and the naysayers. Scott Parker, statue outside the town hall, getting back on the balcony. Fuck it, we're doing it. It's on. It's on, lads. Until we get beat at Chelsea, of course, and Dyche gets something in his next game. But there we go.
Well, we got our exciting cup run before that. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, Woody, I'm not being entirely taking the piss there, though. I mean, 9 points. It's not. I know our thumbnail on our video at the weekend said it's over, but maybe it isn't over.
Well, stranger things have happened. It is a funny old game every now and again, and you could see how the confidence just oozed back into them as a side. And to be fair, there's been a lot of performances that deserved better than what they've got.
Yeah.
In this 16-game run, and I think they've known as a side that they're slightly better than what they've gotten. And tonight they got it when they probably didn't think they deserved it. And it's just little things like that that can turn your season around. It might just be too little too late, but, there's still a bit to play for as yet.
I mean, we've also said, haven't we, Chris, that, even if we are going down, or even if we do go down, you want some sort of momentum towards next season. I mean, even if 9 points does prove to be too much, and obviously it is a lot to overturn at this stage of the campaign, but, a performance like that, if you can get a couple more performances like that in before the end of the season, and maybe it doesn't feel as much like it's the whimper element.
No, I think. I mean, I see a lot of comments from like West Ham supporters, like people I follow in the media and supporters, and they were moaning about, this is the worst West Ham side we've had, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden they sort of like they won a couple on the spin, and then they come and beat us, and by all accounts they were really hard done by not to beat Man United last night. So it just goes to show you've got to help yourselves. You've got to do what West Ham have done and try and string together those 3 or 4 performances, and hopefully those performances become results. And you never know, because let's say if you go beyond Chelsea, we've got Brentford and Bournemouth, who are very good Premier League sides, but they're not consistent enough that they're very good every week. And hopefully they have one of those off days at Turf Moor. You just never know, do you? Yeah. But if Burnley do help themselves and pick up a couple of results, there's teams in there, Palace for one, Tottenham, who we all look at. I mean, I was close to filming a video saying, reeling myself out of the Spurs job this afternoon if Tim Sherwood and Harry Redknapp. But they're in a bad way, aren't they, Tottenham? Forest. For all the work that Sean did in creating a gap, it's just evaporated. And they were down with the dead men a couple of years ago with us. So it's they've had that season from out of nowhere last year where they've overperformed. You would say, but they're back down there and they're in dire need of points.
I mean, you do get these teams, Das, don't you, that free fall. I mean, in some ways, we've just free falled, haven't we? But, you do get that sometimes at the end of a season. A team like getting a situation like Spurs, if they get their managerial appointment wrong, and the injuries list that they've got is massive. I mean, that's Thomas Frank's the biggest argument against sacking Frank was he's got 12 players out most of the time and playing in Europe every other week. But you get 1 or 2 teams, a Forest and a Spurs, continue to plummet, and suddenly it could, in 3 or 4 weeks, it could get tighter down that bottom, couldn't it?
European football doesn't help you, does it? If you haven't got a big squad, European football doesn't help you. We were in the same situation in Europa League, weren't we, a few years ago? And when you haven't got a big squad, it comes back to bite you on the arse.
Yeah.
But you can only look at yourself, as Chris said, and what I'm more gold about tonight is those last 2 performances, Sunderland and West Ham. Because if you hark back to those 2 performances now, if we go back to our pod before the Sunderland game, we're saying now it's now or never. Sunderland, West Ham, tonight, you've just mentioned Brentford and Bournemouth, 5 of your next 6 opponents, and we go and put those performances against Sunderland and West Ham. If you get the points there, we're not talking about 9 points, we're probably talking about 5. So that's where we've struggled all season to put something together. And we've not put a resilient defensive performance together like we have in that second half since, God, I don't know when. I mean, the highlight of the second half for me was that clearance from Lyle Foster near the end. He kicked it further than I go on holidays. It was like a 90-yard clearance. That's what's been missing sometimes from our game. But a bit more of that defensive resilience gives you the springboard. We've talked so many times, haven't we? Got 2 goals down, we're out of a game. We don't have 3 goals in us. And so now we've done it. Now, it might be a one-off. It probably is a one-off. Games like that come around every blue moon. But you've given yourself something now. You've put smiles on faces. Big kudos to the fans who went down to London tonight in that weather on a midweek night. I'm chuffed to bits for them tonight. I'm chuffed for the players and Scott Parker, really, because they took a lot of criticism from us, from other people. Scott especially. I'm chuffed for him tonight, and you could see at the end what it meant to him, I think. So, fair play to everybody tonight. And yeah, we're all here to celebrate, because we should be. We suffer all the shit. We might as well have a good night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Greavesy, Saturday now, FA Cup, Mansfield Town, take care of them, and suddenly, there's Twin Towers on the horizon to this end of this season as well.
It's incredible, isn't it? European football
they've
next
long
season
gone
after
by
winning the cup, survival. This is what dreams are made of. But I mean, I'm all in. I know he likes to make his changes and things like that. But I'd be trying to keep as many of these first teamers, these kind of regulars involved, because I think you want that momentum, don't you? Kind of the cup games coming at the wrong time. You go to Chelsea on the back of an away win, or you have a Brentford or a Bournemouth at home on the back of this away win. You get a different, the whole atmosphere is different to how it's been over the last 16 games. So I think, if I was Parker, you'd probably swap the goalkeeper out, because I don't think Dubravka really needs the game time, but Max Weiss probably does if Dubravka's not going to be there next season. But I'd be trying to keep as many of these players in, really, kind of just trying to breed a bit of confidence and a bit of, playing Humphreys at left back, which I think he's good at. I'd be, Worrell and Esteve getting that partnership going again, albeit against lower league opposition. But it becomes muscle memory, doesn't it? That kind of defending, and they'll throw stuff at us. I think they'll come at us as you'd expect a lower league team with nothing to lose to do. So, pretty glad I picked up my £8 ticket or whatever it were, £10 ticket for the Bob Lord stand. Very much looking forward to that again.
The 20 now. The 20 from tomorrow.
I know, this is it, you see. This is it.
Those who didn't believe, paying the price.
You see. The idiots buy early. That's what they say. Who's laughing now?
I'm in the Bob Lord with you, Gracie. I'm in Bob Lord on Saturday with you.
Yeah, it's my favourite stand at the Turf, I have to say. If I could get a season ticket in there, I would do. Get me blanket out, I'd be right.
Brilliant. Well, a good night for once. We've suffered plenty of bad ones this year. Let's enjoy this one while we can, and hopefully enjoy a victory on Saturday, when we will be back talking to you and reacting rapidly, and hopefully no tantrums at all after that one on Saturday. Until then, all the best, and up the Clarets.